Good evening. My name is John Wright. On behalf of the Board of Trustees, welcome to the New School Class of 2024 Commencement. Tonight, we celebrate the New School's 5th graduating class. We're so proud of these seniors. They, like the graduating classes before them, have been pioneers in building the New School's upper school. They have helped to lay a foundation for the future that will benefit so many students for years to come. Seniors, we couldn't be more grateful for each of you and the lasting impact you've made on the New School community. We're proud of you all and can't wait to see what great things the future holds for each of you. We'd also like to acknowledge the parents, relatives, and friends of this graduating class. We know that without each of you, this day wouldn't be possible. Lastly, we'd like to thank Nancy, her administrative team, faculty, and staff. Their commitment to the New School's students and community is second to none. Seniors, congratulations.
Thank you, John. Thank you and welcome to our Board of Trustees, faculty and staff, students, and community gathered here tonight. Thank you to Mr. Bill Mandrell, who founded our school. Thank you to Ensemble 4 and to Mr. Austin, who has built a strong program by nurturing the growth and development of our musicians to build upon the foundation of those who've come before them. They have some very big shoes to fill as Henry and Winnie graduate today. The New School is quite good at events like this, and it takes a lot of behind-the-scenes work. I'd like us all to take a moment to genuinely show our appreciation to those who've done the heavy lifting to make this evening possible. If you can hold your applause until I list them all, that would be great. A huge thanks to the advancement team, Michael Hine, Summer Burris, Channing Minshew, Beth Ann Jones, and Emma Veit. The facilities team, led by Cody Apperson and Michelle Aguilar. The SAGE team, led by Chef Charity, and Todd and his team from Robertson Media. Thank you. Finally, welcome and thank you to the families of our graduates. Parents, grandparents, siblings, and all those that we call family, this night is also a celebration of you and your role in raising these young adults. The collective tenure of the 10 members of this class at TNS is just over 83 years. 2 wear the cord of lifetime at TNS. That signifies at least 13 consecutive years at TNS, Griffin and Henry. These 2 account for 32 years of the total. Special shout out to Electra for 12 consecutive years at TNS. Class of 2024, your class holds a special place in my heart for a variety of reasons. You were all in 8th grade when I arrived at the New School. Griffin, Winnie, Henry, Electra, Zach, Juliana, and Charlie, you were already here at TNS, and I remember meeting with many of you in my initial listening tour. I wanted to learn more about the school from your perspective. Izzy, Ben, and Jaden, you have joined since then and have added positively to the dynamic of this group. I've come back to you in groups or as individuals to better understand the student experience at TNS. While you speak of that experience as very positive, I know that we must always strive to improve. Please know that what we've learned from you, from each of you, and collectively from all of you, will continue to shape the student experience at TNS going forward. As I look at our small but mighty class of 10, I encourage you all to recognize the experience you have with having to get along with or collaborate with a small group of diverse individuals. What you have learned about working with each other is a lesson that is typically learned much later in life. You have already proved that you are more equipped to face some of the real-life challenges than most high school graduates. As you heard from the faculty last night, you have touched our lives, and we are also proud of you. In such a close-knit group, each one of you has made a unique and lasting impact on our school community. As a collective, you have a legacy here that you do not yet recognize. Today, we celebrate not only your academic accomplishments, but also the friendships and memories you have created along the way. These bonds are the foundation of who you are and who you will become. Hold on to them, for they will support you as you move forward into the next chapter of your lives. And please come back to TNS. We want to be your second home. Special shout out to all the alumni out here tonight. It's fun to see you back. Second home. In a group as close as yours, it's important to acknowledge that you've weathered some stuff together. You've had classmates come and go. You've stayed at TNS when it was hard to do that, and more. All of this stuff builds resilience. So as you step out into the world, remember the values you've learned here: kindness, resilience, and the importance of community. These values will guide you through life's challenging moments and help you achieve your dreams. Embrace the opportunities that lie ahead with the same determination and enthusiasm that brought you to this very moment. To the families and friends who have supported our graduates, thank you. Your encouragement and love have been vital to their success. Today is a celebration of your dedication and the bright futures that lie ahead for these young men and women. Graduates, as you leave the new school, take with you the knowledge that you are capable of greatness, believe in yourselves, pursue your passions, and never forget that you have the power to make a difference in the world. I have faith in each of you and look forward to hearing about the incredible things you have yet to achieve. So class of 2024, Griffin, Winnie, Henry, Izzy, Ben, Electra, Zach, Juliana, Charlie, and Jaden. We are proud of you. We celebrate you. This is your commencement. It's an important milestone, but remember, commencement means beginning. Your journey is in so many ways just beginning, and we all wish you the best and stand ready to continue supporting you through your journey. Later in the program, you will have the opportunity to hear the unique voices of each of our graduates. Next, I will introduce our speaker, and then after that, we will proceed as outlined in your program. I will return up here as we prepare for the presentation of diplomas. So enjoy the many voices you will hear tonight. We are fortunate to have Ms. Heather Gagno address our graduates tonight. Ms. Heather has been teaching at the new school since 2017. Known as our chemistry teacher, Ms. Heather has also taught human pathology, forensic science, and human anatomy and physiology. We also credit Ms. Heather with designing and implementing our sexual health education class as part of our upper school seminar rotation. Ms. Heather's versatility and quality as a teacher is not surprising if you know a little bit about what she did before she came to TNS. In addition to her bachelor's degree in agriculture in entomology from the University of Georgia and a master's degree in pathobiology and veterinary science from UConn, Ms. Heather has over 5 years of experience as a laboratory technician doing the science she now teaches. She has had 4 years of teaching before she came to TNS. Somehow, in addition to all of this, not to mention being a mom of 4, Ms. Heather has also made volunteer service a priority in her life, primarily advocating for children and good health. Around here, Ms. Heather is known for truly knowing her students. Her room is always full of students, working on a variety of tasks, or just hanging out, often engaged in meaningful conversations. It's often said about teachers that the students don't care what you know until they know that you care. With Ms. Heather, they know that she cares and are inspired by all that she knows. Please help me welcome Ms. Heather Gagno.
Thank you, Nancy. That was lovely and touching. Ladies and gentlemen, new school faculty, proud parents, and finally to the incredible graduating class of 2024. Today marks a milestone in your lives. Today we celebrate the remarkable achievements each of you have made throughout your tenure here at the new school. We honor the knowledge you have gained, the memories you have made, the deep and lasting friendships you have each formed, and the phenomenal people that you are. Most of the faculty here at the new school went into the profession of teaching to educate students, and if we were lucky, to make a lasting impact on a select few. However, I'm realizing that with each passing year as a teacher, and particularly this year, that it's the students who are making an impact on me. And I know that I'm not speaking for myself when I say that this phenomenal class has made a profound impact on each and every teacher lucky enough to have taught you. As I sat down to write this speech, I began to reflect on the many interactions I've had with this group. Talking with them, even at a young age, they had a maturity and a wisdom to share. And we're just really cool people. This group is made up of so many individual personalities, yet you work together and complement each other seamlessly. I feel privileged to have watched these students grow from awkward 7th graders to confident, capable adults. I've witnessed them work through difficult academic classes, social experiences, and life's many joys and challenges. Many of you entered my chemistry class sophomore year not knowing what to expect, maybe a little scared of the class at first, but you have matured into seniors who have walked these halls as true role models to the underclassmen. You may think to yourselves, but in what ways have I served as a role model? While each of you have been an example in your own way, I can tell you that as a collective, you have exemplified what it means to be accepting, be accommodating, be inclusive. As someone who has been on the other side of high school for quite some time, I can tell you that this is a rarity in what you'll experience as the real world. To celebrate uniqueness, to accept all kinds, to nurture the paths that make us all individuals. These are just a few of the traits that can so easily get lost in the shuffle of life. As you leave us today, I implore you, stay true to yourselves. As you have those amazing experiences and make new friends and grow and change and go through some really hard things, remember how it feels to be seen and those valuable traits that have contributed to the strength of this group. Griffin, you have the ability to make every situation fun. Sometimes playing dodgeball in class, but you also know when it's time to get to work. You have shown what it means to be a true role model to the underclassmen by even taking a few of them under your wing. Winnie, you blow us away with your talents. Your voice is amazing, and your courage to get up on stage is admirable. But it's your ability to bring people of all groups together that's truly extraordinary. Henry, we all respect you for your incredible intellect. You're brilliant. I can't even tell you how many times you blew me away in AP Chemistry. But what I'll remember the most is you just popping your head in unexpectedly just to check in, say hi, ask how my day is going. Your upbeat, positive attitude and your gentle heart have really made an impact on this school. Izzy, you might initially appear reserved, but there are so many layers to your awesome personality, and those layers are truly the foundation that this group is built upon. Ben, you are smart and interesting, and your strong sense of self is so evident to everyone who knows you. I hope you do actually reach the stars one day. Electra, who would have guessed that you'd become the de facto social chairman of this group? An organizer who's on top of things and manages to keep everyone else on track. Zach, you're an Eagle Scout, a gymnast, and you have all of these other lives and hobbies outside of school. But you do it all without sacrificing the relationships here. Juliana, you embrace your true self. You champion your own identity and love those matcha lattes. Your fierce loyalty and dry wit will take you far. Charlie, you're such an all-around good human. Modest, smart, capable. Your quiet leadership amongst this group hasn't gone unnoticed. And finally, Jaden, everyone gives you credit for your basketball skills, but it's that brain of yours that should get the credit. Your ability to assimilate into a new environment, I mean, you joined a literal new school your senior year, is the definition of resilience. Class of 2024, there's so much more to you than this. And there is certainly so much hope and excitement for what lies ahead. Anticipation for the new experiences you will have in the new cities or countries you will live in. You are more than ready for the responsibilities, independence, and challenges before you. Your new experiences will and should shape you. But as you embark upon your next big adventure, and all the adventures to come, I hope that you stay true to yourself. Remember who you are above all else. Remember the unique qualities that made you an integral part of this experience, this coming together of 10 singular, spectacular humans who, for years, made a lasting impact on each other and your teachers. Brené Brown once wrote, "Those who have a strong sense of love and belonging have the courage to be imperfect." I feel like this is a perfect summation of this unique school environment and the experience that this group has had. They have created a space full of love and belonging. This has allowed each of them to flourish and celebrate their imperfections and differences. I hope that as you leave this school, you can be a part of creating this environment for years to come. In life, it's far too easy to get caught up in the expectations of others, to conform to societal norms, or to chase after someone else's dreams. As you move beyond the walls of this school and the comfort and familiarity of this group, I hope that you remember the lessons learned here and the relationships you have formed. And I urge you above all else to use this person today as a framework for the person you will become. Class of 2024, go do great things and stay true to yourself.
Last night, we had the opportunity to express our gratitude for our upper school teachers, who have had a very significant impact on our entire class. We are up here today to acknowledge a very special teacher, Miss Ruth Swain, who is retiring from the new school after 39 years of service.
We were both fortunate enough to start our TNS journey in Miss Ruth's classroom. That was 16 years ago, which means that she has been impacting lives for 23 years before we walked or we were carried into her classroom. The two of us and our families have fond memories of Miss Ruth, and we'd each like to share one.
So I'll go first. We may be graduating tonight as scholars of TNS, but when I first came to the school, I was far from prepared. The first day of preschool, at 2 years old, all students were supposed to be potty trained, and I was a little behind in that regard. Despite my parents' best efforts, I was incredibly stubborn, and my mom was dreadfully embarrassed that I was starting the first day of my entire education on the wrong foot. She was stressed, and I was probably less worried than I should have been, but Miss Ruth made it better. She didn't hesitate to make my mom feel at ease, and she said she'd take care of it. She got me straightened out and set me off on the right foot for many years to come at the new school. That's kind of the magic of Miss Ruth's teaching. She sets up kids for success, no matter where they're at. She makes the parents feel comfortable and the kids feel successful and good. She helps out in the little ways you would never expect. And so, Miss Ruth, thank you for teaching me, for helping me meet those important milestones, and for preparing me for the road ahead. Thanks.
All right. Well, it truly feels full circle honoring the teacher that kickstarted my education as we both officially part from the new school. Not only are we celebrating the 2024 class tonight, but also one of the greatest teachers that this school has been fortunate enough to have, Miss Ruth. One brief story I'd like to share to validate that claim is when our family dog Oogie died when I was a little kid. This was very upsetting because I was in preschool and I didn't really understand why he wasn't around anymore. That being said, he was also in our family and my mom's dog since before my parents were even married. So the next day when I went to preschool, my mom shared with Miss Ruth this news and maybe why I would be a little more upset that day. Well, after that, she was aware of the situation. She went out and she personally gifted me a book titled Dog Heaven. This book not only helped me understand what happened to Oogie, but it soon became me and my brother's favorite book. We begged our parents to read it to us every single night for months straight. I still have the book as a reminder of Oogie and Miss Ruth's kindness. This goes to show the level of attentiveness, empathy, and care that Miss Ruth possesses and how she exemplifies what it means to be a great teacher. So in this speech, I want to personally thank Miss Ruth on behalf of myself and any other student who has been lucky enough to have her as a teacher throughout the years. Congratulations on a great career, Miss Ruth. Finally, we'd like to ask Miss Ruth to come up here so we can present her with a gift, the same gift that the class of 2024 will receive tonight, because we felt it very fitting to be an honorary member of this class.
Hi, I'm Electra, and first of all, I just wanted to say I'm so excited to be here. So excited that over my last week of school, you'd often find me jumping in place or dancing around with my friends. I've been at the new school since first grade. Yes, I missed getting the lifetime cord by 1 year. And I'm so grateful to have made the best memories and friendships at this school. For the short time I have here on stage, I want to reflect on a few memories and express my gratitude. My classmates, you're also unbelievably special, and I can't even comprehend how much we've grown together. I've sometimes wrestled with the idea of wanting a larger class size, but the tight-knit group led me to have a greater connection with all of you and even those in the grades above and below me. From being in the Magical Forest play with Griffin and Henry, to running the second grade holiday store, to playing Infection every day at recess, to debating with Zach and Mr. Taylor over which Premier League football club to support, to having a girls' catch-up every day in AP Art, or even sitting in Miss Jordan's room talking about anything that came to mind. I've had the best time here, and I will miss all of you so much next year. But if we're completely honest, I'll probably have to host all of you at my house again within the next week. I'm so grateful for everyone that came here to support me today, including people I've known since I was about 7, like Derek and Abel, and even those I've met within the last few years, like Aaron, Leslie, and Callie. My family, Mom, you're my greatest inspiration, and I hope to achieve even a fraction of what you have one day. You're not only an absolute girl boss at work, but a mom who shows up for me every single time. Dad, you're actually the most hilarious and interesting person I've ever met. I'm not sure if it's a good thing or a bad thing I've inherited my sense of humor from you, but oh well. Thank you for being my partner in crime and never leaving my side. Blake, although I don't say it, you're the best older brother and role model to me. Love you. And my granddad, Jackie, Granny, and Melvin have actually traveled all the way from England to be here today, so I hope I don't disappoint. While living here, there's not a day that goes by where I don't miss all of you, and I'm so excited to spend the next 4 years nearer to you. And to the rest of my family, my sister Katie, brother Max, Uncle Rich, Auntie Ailey, and cousins are all in England, but I couldn't go without mentioning them. I will miss this place, and I'm so grateful for the opportunities it's given to me. But I can't lie, I'm unbelievably excited to spend the next 4 years at the University of Surrey. I think it's a privilege to miss someone because it means you love them, and I will miss you all. Thank you.
You know how your parents always said, you'll understand when you're older? Well, it's true. Now that I'm older, I think I finally understand what my parents meant when they said time will fly by fast. As you're going through life, you may never stop and think about how far you've made it or what you've accomplished so far. But when you're up here on stage and your high school career is officially over, you look back and you realize you wish you could get back a few seconds of those good times with friends and family, get back a few minutes of experiencing new things, and even get back the hours of struggle and hardships because maybe you took them for granted. It was my first year here at the new school, and in my short time here, I believe I've made lifelong friendships within my senior class, my teammates, and my teachers. My friend and fellow senior, Griffin Blankenship, from the very first day I met him, all the way to playing our last high school basketball game together, has made me feel like family, and I appreciate you dearly for that. He still is afraid to 1v1 me, though, so. I want to thank all of my family here today and not here today for all the love and support you've given me. I want to thank my parents for being there for me every step of the way and teaching me to become the person I am today. I want to thank my brother for believing in me when I didn't believe in myself and guiding me through not only my basketball career, but also in life as well. Before I go, I want to share these messages with all of you. Be present and cherish the moments you're in. Don't rush life because it's the only one you have. And lastly, never regret or be afraid to take a risky step. And with all that said, congrats, seniors. We made it. Thank you.
One of the most impactful decisions I ever made was enrolling here at the new school. At first, I struggled with the fear of missing out on traditional high school experiences, wondering if I'd regret my choice. But looking back now, I realized I did not miss out on anything, but rather, I gained so much more, an abundance of treasured memories and invaluable experiences with some of my favorite people. Some of the things I would never wanted to miss are playing with some of my closest friends on the volleyball team and basketball team, taking small random field trips since our whole class can fit in a car or two, or the nice days when we'd all sit outside on the patio and enjoy the sun and each other's company. I'm grateful for this school's small and close-knit community. I've had experiences and opportunities that have shaped me into the person I am today from the endless support from my teachers and peers. What I will miss most is just the normal day-to-day here at the new school. Every morning, I would go into Mr. Taylor's room and catch up with everyone if I wasn't running late to Mr. Jamie's AP Lit class with my 7-brew drink in hand. He was always energized and ready to throw a tricky poem in our faces to analyze bright and early at 8:30 in the morning. I'll miss catching up with my little volleyball friends in the hallways before I head to my next class, and a lecturer always reminding me to hurry up because I tend to get distracted. I'll miss my pre-calc table with Kaylee, Maggie, Mirabella, and Juliana, where we'd all get each other off track and thought we were the funniest people in the world for those moments. I'll never forget walking into Miss Jordan's freezing room for history class and seeing Ben finish all the notes early and start to write pages of math formulas that I believe aren't even real. Towards the end of the year especially, I love walking into anatomy class and seeing Jaden try to spell a word of the day for us, and the lecturer and I would catch up with Miss Heather for a bit and work on a puzzle. I will even miss my study hall right before lunch, chatting with Mr. Paul each time to let him know who's present for the day, and having to listen to Charlie and Griffin's nonsense bickering for ages. But the best times were when we all got distracted talking and laughing with each other until we were late for lunch. I'll remember all the times Henry and Zach would argue over silly things in Stuco. It brought us all so much entertainment watching that go down. And I will not miss the stats test I had to take this past year, but I'll miss chatting with Winnie, Shelby, Mirabella, Griffin, Jaden, and Mr. Kyle over some of life's biggest questions. My brain always hurt after leaving that class. And lastly, I'll miss my art classes at the end of the day with Miss Erin. That class was always calming and grounding, just having some time to talk with your friends and enjoy the process of creating something. Although our time here is over, I will always be able to look back and draw on these fond memories that I have with the people I can always count on and call my closest friends. I'm proud of all of you and how hard each one of you has worked for this moment, and I can't wait to see what you all achieve. Love you guys. Thank you.
I wish there was a way to know you're in the good old days before you've actually left them. While I cannot claim to be the biggest fan of The Office in the room, I can say that this quote from the show has made me do a lot of thinking. Until the day we have the luxury of time travel, the good old days are always going to be some elusive thing we'll reminisce about for the rest of our lives. And while it feels like I've lived a lifetime, I'm only 18, so it seems a little ironic for me to sit here and tell everyone in this room about my good old days. However, I think this quote conveys the important message that the good old days don't have to be confined to some limited time period of the past. They can be both the present and the future. I'm sure that in about 10 years, I'm going to look back and laugh about this speech or any other decision I've made in the past couple of years, like buying cowboy boots before I go to college in New York City for the next couple of years. And spending all my money on breakfast at Onyx down the street, because I view it as an important personal investment. What these memories do serve as is a reminder to not forget who you are and what you've accomplished throughout your life and what you'll accomplish in the future. As I pass this big milestone in life, I hope that I can I hope I can remember that. And although it'll be easy to get lost in all the fun and all the struggle of the next couple of years as we all settle into adult life, I hope that none of us forget the memories we've made here at New School. For example, maybe the drama of the Foursquare rules. It was great enough for the teachers to install a plaque by the Foursquare court with the official rules so that there was no more bickering and no more fights. Or maybe the field day in 4th grade when Mr. Dason, our old gym coach, ran around spreading lard in people's hair. And while completely disgusting, it was also hilarious, and I'll never forget how much I laughed that day. Or if you're me, the abundant number of pool games that I've beaten Ben in on our school table, and the many more in which he's beaten me. I will note I won our last official game on the table. For me, it was sort of a winner-takes-all situation. Now that we've all forgotten where I started my speech, I want to end it with a list of gratitude, and don't worry, this is the condensed version. I would like to thank my mom for instilling me with the way of the Bostonian and for always having my back. My dad for his unwavering support of every one of my ambitions. My sister for keeping me humble and being the funniest friend I could ever ask for. My little brother and sister for keeping me on my toes at all times. My amazing step-parents for making me realize what true family is. My amazing friends that have made it through thick and thin with me, whether they like it or not. The teachers that have had to put up with me and my friends goofing off in class since 2nd grade. This school for facilitating my growth over the past 11 years. And everyone in this room for listening to my speech. Thank you.
To be honest with you all, public speaking sucks. While I was thinking of ideas for this speech, the wise land of Reddit told me that the best speeches are kept short. With that, thank you for listening. I'm kidding. But really, welcome everybody. My name is Ben Dubell, and today is historic for 2 reasons. For one, this is the end of our high school career, so I think everyone up here should be very proud of that. And 2, this is the first T&S commencement speech written entirely by ChatGPT. Right, everybody? When I transferred to the new school in my freshman year, I didn't know what to expect. I mean, it was such a crazy time in history. On the news, you legitimately had COVID causing people to fight over toilet paper and then posting it on TikTok for meaningless drama. Needless to say, it felt very intimidating to switch schools at such a time. I had to leave all my friends behind, which meant that I knew no one here at the new school, except for Izzy, so shout out to her. Thankfully, it didn't take long to feel at home, as very quickly everyone here began to take me in and allow me to be a part of your group. So I thank you all for not exiling me. Now, the odds are low, but if my future kids ever find this speech, I want them to see that I said something meaningful today, which is why I want to give one piece of advice. To the graduates here and all those in attendance today, going forward, don't let other people's judgment cloud your vision. Unless, of course, you believe cats are better than dogs or something ridiculous like that, because maybe then you want to listen to the judgment. Just remember that you all have the ability to set your own path and to choose your own goals in life. No one else can write your own story. I mean, who knows where we'll all be in 20 years? I'd like to hope we'll still see and interact with each other through social media, unless Elon buys it, that is. To close, I want to give a little message to my fellow graduates. As I look around at this large graduating class of 10 people, I am endlessly glad that I got the opportunity to know you all these past 4 years, and that you have all given me a chance to connect and build those friendships. I'm proud to call all of you my friends, and will truly miss all of you. Thank you, everyone, for real this time, and peace out, high school.
As I stand on this stage and I look around the room, I can't help but feel like a little girl again. I feel just like I did at my 5th grade graduation, except back then I was so sure that high school wouldn't be much different than middle school. Looking back, I can't tell you how shocked my 5th grade self would probably be to see me right now, in my graduation gown, heading to college and saying goodbye to the last 7 years of my life at the new school. I don't think that it's actually even hit me yet that I'm not that little girl anymore. And while she still lives inside of me, I'm almost an entirely different person. This is the first step into the rest of my life as the person that she became. As I reflect on the last 7 years, I'm overwhelmed with so much gratitude for each and every one of you who have been a part of my journey thus far. And I want to say a special thank you to some of my teachers. Mr. Taylor, Miss Aaron, and Miss Heather, who have truly supported me through some of my worst times and given me advice that will stick with me for the rest of my life. I want to thank them for allowing me to express myself and my creativity, and I want to thank them for guiding me to take jumps that I would have been too scared to without their help. You've all truly filled such a unique and meaningful role in my life, and for that I am forever grateful. I also want to say a thank you to my parents and grandparents for all the amazing sacrifices they've made to get me to this point, and for always encouraging me and pushing me to be more. I'll never forget some advice my grandpa told me many times growing up. He says that you can become what hurt you the most, or you can become better than that. I think that phrase has really stuck with me, and it's given me a lot of hope in my darkest moments, that even when you feel you have lost everything that you're used to, there's this tiny light at the end of the tunnel, and it makes you feel as though you're going to be okay, even if it takes time. I also want to say a thank you to my brother and sisters who have always supported me and for being an amazing shoulder for me to lean on and rely on. They've really helped me through some of my lowest moments, and despite of our constant bickering and bullying, shout outs to Michaela specifically, my siblings seriously mean the world to me. Finally, I would like to thank all of my friends, the ones on this stage, the ones in the audience, and even the ones who couldn't be here for this moment, because you have all truly changed me and my life in so many ways. I will never forget the memories that we've all made together. Like the time I fell down the stairs at Electra's house, which maybe scarred me in more ways than one, because I hear about it until this day, and maybe got worse whenever I fell off the trampoline. I would like to also shout out to the time that me and Winnie spent an entire night defending ourselves from her insane cat, Agatha, who for some reason wanted to rip my face off. Can't really explain that, but I also want to throw out a shout out to Jaden for the time that he literally wiped the floor with me, Zach, and Winnie and Ben at bowling, despite being 30 minutes late. All of these tiny memories have become so special to me, and I'm going to miss every single one of you guys. Thank you so much for being some of the best parts of my life. I'd like to end with a short piece of advice, because if there's one thing I've learned, it would be to never be ashamed of trying. There are countless times I have given something my absolute all, and I've been let down, and I've been disappointed. There's numerous times that I've put myself out there, and I've been completely shattered and hurt. And there are hundreds of times that things didn't go the way I wanted or needed them to. But despite that, there has never been a single time I have ever regretted giving something my all, telling someone how I felt, or trying something new. You will regret never applying, never putting in effort, never putting yourself out there. But you will, I lost my place. But you will regret it more than not putting yourself out there. Regret will stick with you for the rest of your life, and disappointment will not. So become obsessed with yourself and your own potential, and put yourself out there. Thank you.
Wow, okay. Howdy, y'all. My name is Henry Dowd, as most of you know. I wasn't really sure what I could even say to encapsulate all my time here, these last 16 years. So I'll just share one thought I think does it pretty good justice. While everything can seem to change, the little things stay the same. It's not some grand original thought, but I think it's a funny and beautiful idea. I'm a completely different person now compared to the kid I was 6 years ago, and I've grown up a lot from that shy, scared 7th grader entering the upper school. As I look back, though, I make the same movie quotes, laugh at the same jokes, love the same bands, and play the same music I did back then. Most of the beautiful people up here have known me since then, and some I've had the honor of knowing my entire life. They, too, have changed so dramatically from the people they were back then. But the ways we joke, the ways we care for, the ways we show our love for each other, those haven't changed. Although I can say I understand and appreciate my grade much more meaningfully now, I still have the same awe for their individual brilliance and kindness that I did when I first met them. I'm so lucky I get to call them my friends. For their sake, I hope one change is that I've gotten less annoying over the years, and I would be remiss not to thank them for putting up with me this long. I especially need to thank Electra for being the best vice president and a delightful confidant, Izzy for being like a sister to me, whether I liked it or not, and Winnie for being a great shoulder to cry on and offering me some of the best advice I've ever gotten. Y'all have treated me better than I feel like I deserve, and I won't ever forget it. I also have to thank Peyton, because our friendship started with some shared commiseration, and it grew into something beautiful. I consider myself extremely fortunate that another constant has been my family's unconditional love and support. I want to thank my grandmothers for their constant, endless love and attention. I want to thank my granddad for being my biggest supporter, and I admire him in so many ways. I need to thank my dad for teaching me the important life lessons, whether it was how to drive, how to use the toe kit, as Charlie now knows, or how to be humble. He clearly did a really good job instilling that last lesson. Most importantly, I want to thank my mama, who's been the most supportive, caring, loving person in my life. I look up to you every single day. You're truly an incredible mother and role model. I know it's sad to hear, but we're all hitting a stage of our lives where things are about to change in more ways than we can predict, these really big changes. But while I am nostalgic, I'm not really worried. I'm confident in these bonds between us, between me and the people I love. They're going to stay the same in these lovely little ways. So to leave you with a few words from a band that has stayed with me all this time, Green Day once said, "For what it's worth, it was worth all the while." Thank y'all, I love y'all, and I'm going to miss you.
When I first heard I was writing a speech, I had no clue what I would write about. There's so much to talk about, but the more I thought about it, the more one question continued to bubble up to the surface. What and who will I miss as I leave TNS and Arkansas to begin the new chapter of my life away from home? First, I will miss this amazing school, the place I've spent the past 7 years of my life. Everyone at this school has been friendly since day one. The tiny family-like environment here has allowed me to form relationships that I wouldn't have had otherwise. I will miss all of the fun events and activities like the spring formal, the soccer tournaments, the movie nights, the Halloween dance, and clubs like Disc Golf Club, Quiz Bowl, Sports Rec, and Asian Culture Club. I will miss the Brahms and Walgreens trips, and most importantly, all the great classes. I will also miss talking to my teachers who have made it a priority to make sure I'm okay every day and who have connected and bonded with me. But I think the biggest thing I will miss from TNS is the students both on and off of this stage. I've enjoyed getting to know each of you and being able to talk, joke, and laugh. I'm glad that I have met so many wonderful people and formed lasting relationships with them. I'm delighted to call everyone in this graduating class my friend, and I will forever remember all the great times we had, whether it was playing pool in the Innovation Center every day, or the AP World History study sessions where we would spend the entire 30 minutes studying one word like diaspora, or the time a couple of us went to Walmart and ended up all getting matching Elsa Squishmallows, or the time a few of us went bowling and ate way too many fried pickles, or maybe just the times where we would hang out with no real agenda. I could not ask for a better group of friends, and I will miss seeing your faces every day. Second, I'm going to miss spending my nights at gymnastics, coaching, and learning, even if I got annoyed with it from time to time. I'm going to miss my coach, Chase Warden, the man I saw more than my parents, the person that allowed me to continue my athletic career through college as a cheerleader, my very first boss, the man I didn't want to become but continue to pick up his same habits, and his wife, Rhea, my second mother, the person that could give me years of advice in one conversation, the person that could make me smile even if I didn't want to. And my friends, the people who constantly pushed me to be the best version of myself and told me the hard truth even if I didn't want to hear it. Then there's my family, the most important of all, the people who got me here, the people who have always rooted me on and put up with me no matter what. Thank you for convincing me to attend this school. You have always been there for me and believed in me when no one else did. That is something I will be eternally grateful for. After a long day, I will miss coming home to you guys and watching sitcoms like Modern Family and New Girl together. I'll miss my siblings and their friends reminding me I'm the youngest, and my grandparents spoiling me and making sure I know they love me. But most important of all, I will miss my parents, the two people that have made me the person I am today, the people who put a roof over my head, dinner on the table, and taught me how to be a gentleman, the people who always knew the perfect thing to say, and the people who love me even when I act pretty unlovable. You guys have been the best parents I could have ever asked for, and I will keep all the lessons you have taught me for the rest of my life, and I can't wait to learn more from you guys. I will miss our Sunday lunches after church where all 8 of us could sit around a table and just talk. I love you all, even Dylan, and thank you so much for all you do for me. Class of 2024, we made it. We made it to graduation. Now, I don't know what's in store for us, but I do know we can handle it. This is the smartest group of people I know. We will be able to look back at our time at TNS with joy as we continue through life and grow. Theodore Roosevelt once said, "Believe you can, and you're halfway there." I believe all of us will achieve great things, but that doesn't mean we will get it for free or without having to work for it. TNS has given us the skills, and now it's time to walk our paths through life, learning more each day. I'm honored to be standing here graduating with this group, and I believe we are all well equipped for the next chapters of our lives. Thank you.
All right, I'm going to go off script for a quick second and preface the speech because Jaden's reminded me. Actually, the last time we played each other in basketball one-on-one, I beat him 7-4. A little fun fact about that day, too. That was when he signed to College of the Ozarks to play college basketball. And, I mean, if you know me, I'm out of shape and not really too athletic. So there's that for you, Jaden. All right. To get more serious, because I spent some time on the speech, as I look back on my time here at the new school, I'm mostly filled with good memories. This place and its unusually small student body at times was very aggravating to be a part of, but it naturally set up a community that has created irreplaceable friendships. Some of the people on the stage I've known since I was 8 years old. some even younger. And to the ones I only knew briefly, it feels like I've known them for a lifetime. For example, my buddy Jaden Wilson, I've only known the kid for a little over a year. But being a part of the same team and something bigger than us has made him feel like he was a brother to me. And that goes for any single teammate I've had in the past years as we perused around every single corner of Arkansas playing basketball. We were either having a blast or we were absolutely miserable. This tight-knit community and the bonds it creates seems to be the effect of the new school, and for that, I'll forever be grateful. With that being said, I'd like to wrap up my speech for some with a more boring part by extending a few thank yous as my time officially comes to an end here. Starting things off, I'd like to thank any teacher who has ever taught me and has left a lasting impact, any single coach I've had for instilling in me a sense of discipline. I'd also like to thank Mr. Jamie, not only for being a great literature teacher and somehow getting me to understand and enjoy poetry, but also for practically getting me into college. I'd also like to thank my extended family for always supporting me and being there for me. I'd like to thank my sister and her endless friendship and support. I'd also like to thank my Nana for being there and helping me raise me into the man I am today. I'd like to thank my father for working day in and day out constantly to support me and my family, and he also taught me the value of school and the value of learning. I'd also like to thank my brother, Holden. Although we fought and fussed throughout the years, you have always been there for me, and you are truly my best friend. Finally, I'd like to thank the person that I love more than the world itself, my mama, for teaching me empathy and keeping me on the right path. I couldn't even imagine who I would be or where I would be without you. Now, as I leave for Fort Worth, Texas, and unfortunately have to watch Big 12 football, I'm sure I will have a blast. Although I am excited, it will be hard to leave the place I've called home for 18 years in Fayetteville, Arkansas, even though as a little kid, I thought I would stay here forever. As I part with both feelings of nostalgia and excitement, I'd like to end this speech with a quote by Matthew McConaughey in one of my favorite books, Green Lights: "Be less impressed and more involved." Thank you.
To be completely honest, I had no idea how to start this speech. I avoided writing this up until the very last minutes, and once I did attempt it, I sat at my desk staring at the blank screen. Weeks of mulling over different approaches in my inventory, yet I didn't even have an inkling of where to begin. Because how do you start something that you know once it's done that that's it? How do you write something that marks the end of the beginning when a part of you knows you're not ready for it all to be over? For months, people have been telling me that senioritis is going to hit and that I'm going to be so excited about getting out of here. And for months, I've been waiting for these feelings, but they never came. I watched as those around me ecstatically prepared for their future, raring to spread their wings. I listened when mentors told me that our grade is a mature and prepared group, but I'll be transparent when I say that the majority of me has been dreading this day. When I was younger, I used to imagine being washed over with a sense of knowing and confidence in what comes next and how to adult. That young girl used to stand in the halls of her elementary school, the smell of Elmer's glue and Sharpie strong, her head tilted up and directed at the steady stream of fifth graders who towered above her, baffled at the thought that one day she might just grow up. But this time, here I stand, draped in my graduation gown, the exact same little girl, but I'm not so little now. And I've been faced with the fact that I have to say goodbye. Goodbye to something that I feel just started yesterday. Goodbye to a place that has sculpted the person standing before you, and goodbye to my home away from home. When things began to fall apart during my 6th grade year, no one could have prepared me for the events that followed. All it took was 1 week for me, my mom, and my brother to uproot and move to Fayetteville, Arkansas, a place that I hadn't called home for many years. I was enrolled in the new school immediately after winter break and thrown into an unfamiliar and almost alien environment. I was young, scared, confused, and cynical. But as years went by, this community has taught me to trust again. It has taught me to love again. It has taught me to be unafraid of ambition, of failure, of competition, of teamwork. It has taught me determination, work ethic, and a hunger for knowledge. It has taught me acceptance, communication, forgiveness, and patience. But most of all, it has taught me to stay true to who I am. Yes, I am scared, utterly terrified of what the future may hold. But I do know one thing, and it's that if any place could have prepared me to face the world, it's this one. Thank you.
Another turning point, a fork stuck in the road. Time grabs you by the wrist, directs you where to go. So make the best of this test and don't ask why. It's not a question but a lesson learned in time. It's something unpredictable, but in the end is right. I hope you had the time of your life. So take the photographs and still frames in your mind, hanging on a shelf in good health and good time. Tattoos of memories and dead skin on trial. For what it's worth, it was worth all the while. It's something unpredictable, but in the end is right. I hope you had the time of your life. Something unpredictable, but in the end is right. I hope you had the time of your life. It's something unpredictable, but in the end is right. I hope you had the time of your life.
Days come easy and the moments pass slow, and each road leads you where you wanna go. And if you're faced with a choice and you have to choose, hope you choose the one that means the most to you. Hope you still feel small when you stand beside the ocean. Whenever one door closes, I hope one more opens. Promise me that you'll give faith a fighting chance. And if it's cold outside, show the world the warmth of your smile. But more than anything, more than anything, I hope you dance. I hope you dance. I can almost see it, that dream I'm dreaming. There's a voice inside my head saying you'll never reach it, but I gotta keep trying, gotta keep my head held high. My wish for you is that this life becomes all that you wanna do. Your dreams stay big, your worries stay small. You never need to carry more than you can hold. And while you're out there getting where you're getting to, I hope you know somebody loves
take that jump, you don't feel the fall. Hope when the water rises, you build a wall. And hope when the crowd screams out, they're screaming your name. Hope if everybody runs, you'll say, it's always gonna be another mountain. I'm always gonna wanna make it move. Always gonna be an uphill battle. Sometimes I'm gonna have to lose. Ain't about how fast I get there. Ain't about what's waiting on the other side. I did it all. I hope you dance my wish for you. I hope you dance. It's a climb. I hope you dance. I hope you dance. Yeah, this is my wish.
I said, remember this moment in the back of my mind. The time we stood with our shaking hands, the crowds in stands went wild. We were the kings and the queens, and they read off our names. The night you danced like you knew our lives would never be the same. You held your head like a hero on a history book page. It was the end of a decade, but the start of an age. Long live the walls we crashed through, how the kingdom lights shine just for me and you. I was screaming, long live all the magic we made, and bring on all the pretenders. One day we will be remembered. I said, remember this feeling. I passed the pictures around of all the years that we stood there on the sidelines, wishing for right now. We are the kings and the queens.
Anyone else have a little tightness in their chest? It's time we award some diplomas. In just a moment, we will ask the members of the class of 2024 to stand up for the presentation of diplomas. And welcome to the Alumni Association of the new school. Each graduate will be presented, and Miss Ruth has already received, a specially engraved compass that says, the new school, class of 2024, we hope you'll always find your way back, with the coordinates of the campus to remind you that it is our genuine hope that you will find your way back home to this campus many times in your life. I invite Mr. John Wright and Mr. Mike Hine forward, and I invite J.R. Neiswender to the podium to lead us through this presentation.
It is now time for the presentation of the diplomas. I will call each member of the class of 2024 to center stage, where they will be presented with their diploma. Each will pause for a photograph. They will then be congratulated by our board chair, John Wright, and be presented with their Alumni Association gift by Mike Hine, and finally proceed back to their seats. After we have awarded all the diplomas, the graduates will be called back up for their final introduction as alumni. Class of 2024, please stand. Griffin Baker Blankenship. Erwin Marie Breckelbaum. Henry Douglas Doubt. Isabel Marie Doubt. Benjamin Trotter Dubell. Electra May Ewing. Zachary Walter Gust. Juliana Rose Jocelyn Reynolds. Mark Charles Simmons II. Jaden Scott Wilson.
I invite our alumni back to the center. Alumni tassels. I present to you all the New School Alumni Class of 2024.